So bored. Nothing to listen to. There's only so many times you can listen to the car. Ah, there's a new Kings of Leon album out. And a new Dua Lipa album. Produced by Kevin Parker. Nice. Should be an enthralling listen. Dua never misses. Who are you? And what have you done with Kevin Parker?
Hello friends, if you're new here, I'm Sanjay, a management consultant by day and a weekend rock star by night. Or part-time musician slash producer slash logic nerd, if you will. So there is a lot to talk about in this one. Both Dua Lipa and Kings of Leon have new albums out. And I'm going to listen to both albums from start to finish and give my initial thoughts in this video. I've got to say, on the Dua Lipa front, she's been on fire for the past few years, hasn't she? Future Nostalgia, her sophomore album, was a production masterclass. Then she did the Barbie soundtrack with Mark Ronson. In fact, everything she's touched over the past few years has just turned to gold. And the first few singles from her third studio album, Radical Optimism, were pretty damn cool, I have to say. Houdini for me was a refreshing change of sound. The song has that signature Kevin Parker drum sound, whilst taking several cues from 80s pop music. That Michael Jackson inspired guitar riff at the end of the song was spicy. I did think the production on the other singles from the album though was a little bit sparse. Tasteful but sparse, and not really that reminiscent of Tame Impala. So it'll be interesting to see what the full album is like. And the new Kings of Leon album, I don't actually know if I've got high hopes going into this one. The singles for me, I really do like Mustang, really reminiscent of Youth and Young Manhood, the band's first album, super raw and gnarly guitars, and more waily and shouty and emotive, let's be honest, vocals from Caleb. But the other singles, like Split Screen and Nothing to Do, just didn't feel that strong for me, the second and third singles. But let's see, after giving these albums a full listen through. Let's go. Alright, I am off to the gym. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and I'm going to spend the next 2 hours indoors. Got to be done. Hurt my shoulder a little bit, so I reckon this workout's going to be about an hour and a half just because of the rest periods I'm in between each set because I'm so fit at the moment. But it's a good opportunity to put my AirPods in and listen to both of these albums from start to finish. I do quite enjoy listening to albums when I'm in the gym working out. I just feel like it's the only time of the day that I have to just like focus on something without getting distracted by one person or another. So should be fun, should be good. Why aren't you listening on good speakers? I hear some of you say, well, AirPods are just the way that people consume music these days, aren't they? So probably a good test to see what these albums sound like in AirPods, but definitely will just be a first listen. Probably will listen on good speakers tomorrow, the day after, see what I think of these albums. But initial reaction to follow. Cue workout montage. Well and truly fine. Okay, so after that much needed workout, I met up with my other half for a spot of lunch and we decided to visit this place that we'd heard about from Miles Kane's Instagram called Mexican Soul, a Mexican-Korean fusion street food place in East London. So think pork belly tacos with kimchi and radish, that sort of thing. And we ended up getting the pork belly and fried tofu tacos from the menu, which were insanely good. And the gochujang chicken wings were honestly something else. This might just be the best wing I've ever had. Wow. Really, really good. Cheers for the recommendation, Miles. fantastic. Over lunch, we talked about what we thought of Dua Lipa and Kings of Leon's new albums while soaking up some much needed sun. Okay, I'm back. Protein shake in hand. Feeling absolutely spent as well, and my shoulder hurts. Great work, Sanjay. Very, very good meal though. Possibly the best wings I've ever had, I think. Cheers for the recommendation, Miles. So I'm gymming about 4 times a week at the moment. 4-day split, which in theory could mean 4 album reviews every week, 4 album listens. Unless you listen to Taylor Swift and your album is 4 days long, right? Okay, so I've listened to both albums and have some thoughts about both albums. Can you tell what's coming? Okay, so Radical Optimism first of all. I actually think this is a decent pop album, despite its mostly negative reception online. There is genuinely some great work on here, in my opinion. I mean, Future Nostalgia was always going to be difficult to follow. Fantastic songwriting on that album and even better pop production. But whilst Radical Optimism doesn't reach that same level, I do actually think Dua's done herself justice here. Maybe it's the sunny weather here in London or something, but I'm feeling radically optimistic about this one. The only real disappointment for me, and the biggest thing that lets the album down in my opinion, is the quality of the production. Something I thought I'd never say, given that Kevin Parker was at the wheel on this one. It's a solid pop album, don't get me wrong. But knowing that Kevin was involved, and because Kevin set himself such high standards with Tame Impala, I feel like I built this album up in my own head as if it was going to be something super special. But it just isn't for me. The production on several songs from the album, like Illusion, Falling Forever, even French Exit to an extent, just sound a bit uninspired for me. Half-baked even. I don't know, maybe it's because Dua had quite an aggressive timeline, most likely, to get this album finished and out to the public. And, well, we know that Kevin can take quite a long time to mould his productions into their finished articles. I mean, The Slow Rush took him the best part of, 5 years? So, I don't know, that's what I think anyway, bit of a missed opportunity. Because Tame Impala plus Dua Lipa on paper reads like some sort of psychedelic pop supergroup. But that's not really what we got here. I also would have just liked to have seen Kevin take some more risks with his production on this one. Some of the songs just sound constrained. A few of the songs do sound like they could go somewhere a bit more psychedelic, like they could push the boat out a little bit more. Those filter drums on French Exit, for example. But the song just feels almost too scared to go there. It's almost as if Kevin took the brief of making a pop record a bit too literally. Also, why is arguably the best song of the album, Anything for Love, only half a song? Strange, right? Dua said in her interview with Zane Lowe that she'd written 97 songs for the album. I feel like what she really means by that is that she had 97 lyrical ideas or lyrical themes for songs. I mean, I don't think she had the arrangements and the instrumentals down for all of those songs. Do you know what I mean? Because if she had 97 songs to choose from, then surely there wouldn't be so many forgettable songs in the track list. Am I being too unfair? Let me know in the comments. Okay, moving on. So the new Kings of Leon album. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I hate it. Like, I think I really don't like it. I really did like Mustang, the first single. I thought it was so refreshing. It genuinely got me so excited for this album. But the rest of the album's just barely listenable for me. I mean, Ballerina Radio, the opener. What is going on there? I just don't understand the song. You've got a really gentle and intimate vocal delivery from Caleb. Quite pretty and melancholic sounding, in a way. And then to go along with that, you've got Matt's wailing guitar. That literally sounds like a small baby crying. It's almost as if the guitar just wasn't tuned properly and he's gone, close enough. You know what, it kind of reminds me of that meme parody video of Sex on Fire. I mean, to the album's credit, there are songs that have really cool influences. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of the Velvet Underground on this one, and the last track on the album, Scene, does sound like the Pixies. Raw and definitely punky influences in terms of how the guitars sound. And Caleb does sound like he's singing freer and sort of less controlled in a good way on the album. And I think this rawer sound does stem from the fact that this is the first album on the band's new label. I mean, the band have talked at length on recent interviews about how they feel like they've been unleashed finally. They're now making music that they actually want to make, instead of making music that their former label would have been happy with them releasing. And to their credit, a few songs do genuinely sound like that. Split Screen and Mustang both do sound like that. Mustang and Split Screen, for me, sound like the band are truly inspired and having fun. But the rest of the album sounds like they kind of ran out of ideas quickly. I don't know, in the gym I just felt like I wanted to listen to something else when I was listening to this album. Now I do need more listens to make up my mind about it, but what do you guys think? I'm just really not sure about this one. It just feels like there's not much to grab onto, you know, not many hooks or interesting melodies or cool riffs. None of that signature stuff that Kings of Leon have provided time and time again on previous records. I kind of hate to say it, but it feels a bit like background music in the sense that it's quite a forgettable album, which I know sounds really odd because I'm also saying it's really punky and new and refreshing and exciting in terms of sound compared to what they've done in the past. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel on the first listen. There's also something a little bit jarring about listening to this album. Potentially in the way that Caleb's vocals have been mixed because they're so mid-range heavy. Sounds a bit harsh frequency-wise, at least in my ears. And my ears genuinely do feel a bit tired listening to this album. I don't know. It would be very me, wouldn't it, to then tell you next week that I love the album now. I'm sure it's a grower like the car, but do let me know in the comments what your initial impressions are of this album. I am keen to know what the consensus is here. And with that said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. As always, there is a link in the description where you can download the Logic session for my latest single, All In, completely for free. The idea being that you can download the session, open it up on your own Mac or iPad and deconstruct it basically, and see how I put the song together and mixed it using only Logic stock plugins. And speaking of Logic, this coming week is a very exciting one for home studio Logic users. Logic Pro 11 is actually coming on Monday. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss my videos coming later this week on those new updates. Very excited to test out those new AI features that Apple mentioned in their keynote. On a different note as well, appreciate I'm rambling a bit here, but I think I'm going to continue to experiment with this style of video a little bit more. You know, the sort of more informal and chatty and vloggy type videos. Do let me know in the comments if you want more of this vloggy, informal type video. Do you want to see more of this vloggy type stuff, or do you prefer those sort of 10-minute, short, sharp, concise, hard hitters? Let me know in the comments. And with that said, thank you ever so much for watching. And if you are wondering what to watch next, keep watching for a link to another one of my videos that you might fancy watching next. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Five, and you know it's true. Polka style.